Monte the Music Man Sieberns, and joining us in the studio right now is Mayor Richard Strick. Mayor, good Thursday morning to you.
Hey, good Thursday morning to you too, Monte, and all your listeners out there.
Hey, we sure do appreciate you coming by, and you've got a special guest here that you brought along with you.
Yeah, it's an honor and privilege to have Craig Johnson with us here this morning. Early on in my ministry career, one of the toughest lessons I had to learn was that I couldn't be on the front lines for every ministry or every good cause, but instead I could play a support role. And Craig's going to share about a great collective operation that's been going on in our community for over a decade now at this point. And he was there at the founding of it, and he's going to share a lot about how your listeners and the rest of the community can continue to partner with them in making a great impact in our community.
All right, so we'll let him step up to the microphone here and get acclimated. Craig, a very good morning to you, sir. Welcome into the studio this morning.
You as well.
All right. Hey, I got to tell you, this is a great, just a wonderful organization you got going on here, Blessings in a Backpack.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. And tell us a little bit about the genesis of that, at least as far as it goes here in Huntington.
Well, we started the organization in January of 2011 with feeding 15 elementary students at Andrews Elementary. And since then, it has grown to every elementary in Huntington County. And right now, we serve about 450 elementary students per week.
Wow. Now, that's a lot of students. It's really awesome because this is a way to provide them sustenance at a time where they may not be able to get good meals. So, like when they're out of school or on the weekend, is that correct?
That is correct. Because a lot of these kids don't have anything from lunch on Friday at school until Monday morning when they go back to school, and that's provided that they do have school on that Friday or Monday.
So on days where there's not, then it can be even more of a challenge. So there it is. They pack the backpacks with different items. Tell us a little bit about what that looks like and what kind of things go into those backpacks.
Well, we pack generally about every week, sometimes every 2 weeks if we anticipate weather, things like that. But we do put in every bag macaroni and cheese, ramen noodles, soups, spaghetti, granola bars, snacks, cereal, breakfast. So they have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner for all that weekend.
Really designed for it to be like non-perishable things that are going to have a longer shelf life and are easier to transport around and things of that nature.
That is correct. And we do provide once a month a jar of peanut butter and jelly as well to give them more protein.
Now, what does it look like if they were to, say, provide drinks? Is that go in there as well, like maybe a juice box or that sort of thing, or how does that look?
We started doing that. That's what National had advised us to do, but we kind of backed away from that because typically a child will get that juice box out right when they leave school, drink it. There's not much nourishment into it for, bang for the buck pretty much. And also sometimes they come open in the bags, and it's not good.
No, I would imagine. Would it be more, suffice to say, would it be a better idea maybe for like bottled water or something to keep them hydrated as well? Or how does that look maybe going forward?
Well, with the poundage of the bags, we try to look at it as a kindergartner would have to lug all their food and as well as their books and things like that. So we try to limit that. We figure they can get drinks somewhere else.
Right. Well, no, that makes sense. But we always are learning about these programs. Now, you say this started in January 2011, and your daughter was very instrumental in getting this thing going. Was she herself in school at that time, or how did she come by doing this?
Yes, she was actually, she went to school in Fort Wayne, and they did service projects up there, and they packed for the Blessing in the Backpack in Fort Wayne. And when she came home, she asked my wife whether or not we had something like this in Huntington County, and she said no. And she asked why not, and there was no real answer. And about a week went by, and she asked my wife again, and she knew that she wasn't going to drop it. So my wife took it from there and got some youth leaders together, met with the superintendent at the time, and it just kind of started from there. It just developed.
It's a fantastic program that we got the premise of it. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes, and that is helping the program to grow, not only in terms of what they're serving, but the number of people they serve. And I imagine that you want growth on both ends. So how can people, first of all, can they bring food items down to be put in the backpacks? If they say, well, we purchased this, can we, or how does donating look at this point?
Right now, we'd asked more monetary donation. It's very hard to get food, and sometimes we do get donations of food, and it doesn't fit in our bags because we pack 10 bags in a tote, and sometimes the product may be too big. So we've kind of, the size and the weight, we've kind of balanced together. If they do want to provide some type of food, we can give them guidance on what we would prefer them to.
Okay, so a list basically of the things that would work and that they can donate, and then they can work off that list.
That's correct.
Okay, I understand. And also, I understand that you're looking for a location currently.
Yes, right now we've been at a loading dock at Life Church in Huntington on State Street. They've been wonderful to work with, and we've been there probably about 7 years. And their ministry has grown. They've decided to do different things as with our space, and have asked us to find another place by maybe the end of the school year of this year. And it kind of is a blessing in a way because we are growing so much that the space is about as tight as we can make it right now.
Okay, so I mean, it is going to become a process where within that growth, you would have to have probably found another space anyway because you've just outgrown what you've got currently.
That is correct.
Now, when you're talking about a program like this, is there financial resources, i.e. grants or some kind of money that help find these type of spaces from which the organization can operate?
Not necessarily grants. We do good for grants and from foundations and things like that to provide some totes, bags. Ecolab has been very helpful with getting bags for us. Parkview Hospitals Foundation has helped us with some financial so we could actually provide fruits and vegetables as well. That's just to name a couple of the organizations.
Well, so then it's up to the organization to really seek out someone willing to even perhaps donate that space that you could operate out of, which I'm sure would help the organization immensely. Right,
that's correct. What we're looking for now is our space now is about 25 by 35 or so, 15-foot ceilings. We do have access to it for our drivers that come pick up the totes and deliver to the schools weekly. We do have access to bring in food on pallets, so we're looking for something that's on a one-story that we can ingress, egress, pallets of food, store the food in the totes as well, so then our drivers can come and go. So ideally we'd like to have a space 50 by 50 roughly, but it's not a deal killer if it's not that big.
Okay, all right. And I understand that you have a goal of growth about the number of children that you feed, and you've actually, I was talking with Mr. Krauskopf earlier, Huntington's communications director for the city, and we were talking about the plan or what you would like to be able to do in the hopefully not too distant future. What does that look like? You say you're feeding about 400 kids a week. What is your goal?
Well, we've put out as many permission slips to the schools and the counselors. They kind of pick and choose, not really pick, but they know who needs it. There's some kids that maybe need the food, but yet may live with grandparents or uncles and don't need it on the weekends, but they fit the profile. So they kind of wean who would provide the food to, I guess. We kind of don't really have control of the school, so we rely on them. We don't know who the kids are. We just know numbers.
I see. And is the idea to at least be able to get the word about this program on everyone, perhaps on the free or reduced lunch program as far as that goes?
That is correct, yeah, because 450 kids, that's probably be maybe half of what the free and reduced lunch numbers are for elementary. So there is more children out there that could be provided the food if they want to. We send out permission slips. Some don't want to have it. We just don't know what the number will be when we get it in. So we try to have a budget every year on how many kids we can feed, and right now the 450 doesn't reach our budget. We can provide more.
But, well, and you look at that, when you look at those numbers, it sounds like a lot of folks may fall through the cracks, proverbially, either because, A, they might not know about the program, or, be just lack of information. Do you find some of them not wanting it? Could it be a matter of, dare I say, parental pride? Well, we don't need this, we're going to make it. But yet, really, there's no need. I mean, if you can be blessed, take that blessing, and then down the road you can pay that blessing forward.
That's correct. It kind of grew really fast at one point when the word got out what it was for. But yes, pride does, I'm sure, come into as a factor as well. We don't know what they're thinking, but it's there. If they want it, here it is.
Well, that's fantastic. And so, listeners, if you're listening this morning and you know of someone that may have a space available to host this wonderful opportunity, and it really is, because it's just helping out the community at large by feeding these children in need. And as George Benson and later Whitney Houston said, children are our future. So we want to make sure that they're getting the nutrition and sustenance that they need through this program. And Craig, I think your crew has done a wonderful job. Is there a contact phone number that they can reach out to, or perhaps an email, or both, actually, where they can talk to you or someone if they want to volunteer, if they want to make a fiscal donation, what have you?
Yes, they can contact me. My cell phone number is 260-433-9854. They could call my office. That's local 260-356-7723. Email-wise, it could be, I'm trying to think what the Facebook, we're on Facebook as well.
It's all that new technology that guys like you and I love so much because we're still trying to figure it out.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. I know enough about my computer just to get it stuck and have to call someone to fix it. But, okay, so we have those two numbers, and they can reach out with any questions they have. Can you use not only financial but extra hands right now? Is that something you can use?
Yes, we're looking for some more committee members to do some other tasks as well. We have a nucleus of committee members doing everything, but you never know what might happen. Somebody could move or whatever and take a spot over.
Okay.
So,
well, fantastic. And Craig, I want to thank you for coming by this morning. And we here at Z103.com and Z Country wish you all the best in all your endeavors with this fine organization.
Yes, thank you, Monte, and thank you, Mayor, for inviting me.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this morning. Mayor, thanks for bringing in a special guest to talk about a very special topic.
Thank you, Monte. It's a great opportunity for folks to continue to support others in our community. And again, just want to wish everyone a safe and happy Thursday and weekend. Be careful on the roads out there. And then if you're the sort who believes in prayer, prayer for peace and justice with Ukraine and Russia, with everything kicking off last night.
Well said.